Hello, welcome to my channel. Today's FreeCAD Quickie is going to be how to select an unselectable dot or vertex in FreeCAD Sketch or Workbench. This can be a frustrating situation when you don't know why or how to resolve it, but it's actually quite simple, and I'm going to show you how to do that. Before I get started, I want to ask you to head on over to Patreon, and you can just type in my name, Math Code Print, right here, and consider donating to Patreon. I'd like to make this a full-time gig and continue doing it, and I need quite a bit to get there. Nowhere close. So if you have $1 to spare, or if you like my content, or both, consider giving me $1 a month. That's the only tier I have right now. And what I'm going to do for the $1 tier is I'm going to put model files on my website for anybody who signs up. So give that a thought, and I appreciate your contribution. Thank you so much. Now let's get started. To start out with, let's start with a new sketch. I'm going to delete this one so it's not confusing, and I'm going to leave the origin so we can see some of the situation. We'll start out with a new sketch that works, and we're going to set it on the XZ plane, and you'll see that it orients to the XZ plane, and you'll notice that we can read this. It's facing to the front, and everything's good. So let's draw a triangle. Let's draw a rectangle, and you'll see that I can select these vertexes easily, and it's no problem. Now let's show you when you can't select it. The simple matter or simple reality is that if you're on the wrong side of the sketch has a normal. So for this sketch, the sketch's XY plane is, you see here's the Y axis and an X axis. So the sketch's local XY plane is on the XZ plane of the document, and the Z of the positive Z of the sketch is along this Y axis currently. I know that sounds confusing, and we'll do it again with it on the XY plane of the document. So that's the global coordinates. So what I was getting to, so the Z positive is the normal direction of this sketch. So you can only select on the normal direction of the sketch. So if I turn, you'll see I won't be able to select it. So basically, I can't select a vertex from the back, and it might have to do with ordering. So let's take a look at ordering really quick. So I don't think ordering is available between vertexes and lines. Actually, is it not available here anymore? I thought it used to be. There we go. So you have normal, construction, and external. So the rendering order isn't available for vertexes, and that might not even be like. So basically, I think that this vertex is in FreeCAD, in the GUI's mind, behind these lines, but don't quote me on that. So now let's do one in the XY plane. So you learn two things. You learn the normal of the sketch is always facing up from, this X and this Y, and then that's the local coordinate system. And you'll see that this sketch is on the global XZ plane. There is a global and local coordinates. A sketch has its own, and that's something important to understand with FreeCAD. So now let's do one on the XY plane. I'm going to get rid of this one so it's easier to see, and put a new sketch in. So we'll do it on the XY plane. So now you'll see, let's draw a square here, or a rectangle. And so now you see the normal of, the normal of the sketch matches, so the Z vector, the positive Z, matches the Z of the global. And if you're like me and you start out always putting on XY, that may not become apparent to you right away. And again, so now I select from the top. If I go to the bottom, or I won't be able to select that vertex. So now an alternative is to use box select. And box select, you can drag and select it, and you see that it gets it that time. So you can always go to box select as a solution to getting the vertex, and that's also selectable from right here and Shift B. I hope you enjoyed this little tip, FreeCAD Quickie, and if you like my stuff, make sure you subscribe and click on the alarm bell to get notified. Also, if you sign up on Patreon, you'll get notified of every video instead of just the ones that YouTube seems to want to choose. You can also follow me on Twitter at masscodeprint.com, and there is a FreeCAD videos page on Facebook that you can follow to get notifications as well. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.